Yeah. Now, if everybody would take their seats, please. At our previous private session for our new members, I boasted about the fact that we're very, very punctual. In fact, I went so far as to say that we're the most punctual organisation in the world. So I don't want to give the lie to that at this stage. So I'm going to start now with the first public session. And I'll start by saying good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Grand Hotel in Malahide for what is the 10th meeting of the Citizens' Assembly. I would like to join all of you joining us online, the observers present, and of course I would like to welcome the members and our new members. In fact, we're joined today by a number of new members who have kindly agreed to join the Assembly for our final two topics. And I have already said it, but I'll repeat it. You are very welcome. That's the new members, and I hope you enjoy the experience. I would like also to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to those members they are replacing who gave so generously of their time over the last 12 months. This weekend we turn our attention to the fourth topic assigned to us by the Houses of the Oireachtas, the manner in which referenda are held. This is a very topical issue given the number of referenda the government has committed to holding in the coming years. Members will recall that this topic was originally listed as the final item on our work programme. However, as long ago as the September meeting, I outlined my view to the members that it would be preferable if we had concluded deliberations on the manner in which referendums are held before any referendum campaign commenced. It is important that this Assembly, which will consider how referendums are conducted generally, and I emphasise generally, does not in any way confuse a national discussion on a referendum campaign on a specific matter to be put before the people. The change in scheduling, which was agreed by the members, as I say, last September, is designed to avoid any such confusion. This weekend, we will experience a new way of carrying out our business, as we will both consider and make recommendations on this topic by the conclusion of the proceedings tomorrow afternoon. This is a significant departure from the way in which we considered the previous three topics, and in fact, this is primarily how our predecessor, the Convention on the Constitution, structured its meetings. We have a busy weekend ahead, but in developing the work programme, I've been conscious of this alternative structure, and I've sought to balance informing the members to a degree that allows them to formulate sensible recommendations while not overburdening the members with substantial volumes of very detailed material. Coupled with this is the fact that this is a more difficult topic than its title might initially indicate. The title of the topic is very broad and wide-ranging. The holding of a referendum is a fundamental component of our democracy. A referendum is the only manner by which our constitution can be amended, and Irish people are most familiar with voting in constitutional referenda, as this is the only type of referendum we've held in Ireland. Referenda, both in the way in which they have been held and in their results, have been the subject of complex constitutional case law. The case law, as laid down by the superior courts and supplemented by legislation, regulations and guidelines, has a significant impact on the way in which referenda in Ireland are conducted. Now, I would like to briefly make reference to the ballot paper, which will dominate tomorrow's proceedings, and it is the mechanism by which we formulate our recommendations. In consultation with the expert advisory group, the Secretariat will be preparing a draft ballot paper based on the discussions throughout today. To assist with this task and to focus the members' minds as to the types of things they would like to see expressed on a draft ballot paper, time has been allocated in the agenda at the round table discussions after sessions 3 and 4, and then after sessions 5 and 6, to seek feedback from the members on possible issues arising for the Assembly's recommendations. This feedback will be given in public during the questions and answers session. I will provide a detailed explanation of the draft ballot paper, which will then emerge, and that will be provided tomorrow morning. The members will then have the opportunity to critically discuss its contents in their roundtable discussions, and also the wording will be finalised in the public session. Now, as I've just referred to, we are extremely fortunate to have had the benefit of a new expert advisory group that will serve for both this and the next topic, fixed-term parliaments, given the similar fields of specialisation required for both topics. Our resident political scientist, John Garry from Queen's University Belfast, continues to sit on the expert advisory group, and he's at the back of the room. He is joined by two former EAG members, constitutional lawyers, Dr. Oran Doyle and Dr. Rachel Walsh from Trinity College, who worked with us on the 8th Amendment, and I want to thank them for agreeing to rejoin us for the last two topics. Our new members are Robert Elgee, Paddy Moriarty, Professor of Government and International Studies from DCU, Kevin Rafter, Head of the School of Communications in DCU, and Theresa Reedy, a political scientist from UCC. I would like to thank all of the members of the EAG for their work to date on the formulation of the work programme for this topic, and for the work they will be carrying out throughout today's proceedings in assisting the Secretariat in producing a logical and coherent draft ballot paper to present to the members on Sunday that reflects the members' input. Now, I want to say something about the submissions that the Assembly has received on this topic. Throughout the process, we received approximately 210 submissions. A broad range of issues were raised from a wide variety of individuals and groups, as was the case with other topics considered by the Assembly. Submissions were received from representative groups and from professionals and academics with experience and expertise on the topic. Submissions were also received from individual members of the public. The Secretariat began publication of the submissions on the 15th of November last, and all of the submissions published have been available on our website since 2nd January last. In order to make the best possible use of these submissions, the Secretariat has prepared a signpost document to give an overview of the key issues, topics and themes presented in the submissions. They are grouped into broad thematic areas and present a selection of perspectives on those areas in the submissions. The members received the signpost document earlier this week in order to have an opportunity to consider it before coming here today. But I also know that many of the members have already read the submissions, some in full, which are on the website. Our work programme for the weekend reflects a number of the issues that emerged from the submissions. And just to say for the public generally, the signpost document, which I think is a very useful document, is available to view on our website, www.citizensassembly.ie, from this morning. It has gone up, yes. And I would encourage the public with an interest in this topic to both read the signpost document and the longer individual submissions, as they are a fascinating source of information and opinion on this area. Now, finally, I'm going to describe in some detail this weekend's agenda and what each speaker will cover. And I'm not going to do it as long-winded, if I may use that expression, as usual, because I will provide the explanations as we go forward. However, it should be noted that with just one day to provide information to the members in deciding on the work programme, regrettably, not all possible issues are included on the agenda. As can be seen from the signpost document on the submissions, the number of issues which this topic gives rise to are numerous. Nonetheless, I believe that the work programme covers the most important issues to be considered in this context, and I hope that the conclusions of the members will be of assistance to the Houses of the Oireachtas. Briefly, we will start the day with an overview of the history of referendums held in Ireland and the legal background to the process. And Professor Gary Murphy from Dublin City University and Niamh Hyland, Senior Counsel, who are sitting on the podium, will give us, respectively, will give us those presentations. We will be joined later this morning by Conor O'Mahony from University College Cork and Mark Brannock from the consultancy firm Murray to consider the legal regulation of a referendum campaign and the impact of the law on media in providing information to the public. After lunch, we will have a session focused on voter turnout, super referendums and repeat referendums, where we will hear from Michael Marsh of Trinity College Dublin. This session is important as when the motion approving the establishment of the Assembly was considered in the Dáil and Seanad, Minister of State Damien English, on behalf of the government, when referring to this topic, provided some further context as an example as to what was intended to be looked at during our considerations. And specifically he said, and I quote, whether super referendum days, whereby a significant number of referenda take place on the same day, should be held, end of quotation. As such, I believe it was important that we consider this aspect as part of our deliberations. Now, we will conclude today's sessions with a session on citizens' initiatives. This session will be presented by a member of our expert advisory group, Theresa Reedy. We have an excellent selection of speakers presenting this weekend, all experts in their field with extensive experience regarding referendums. They have prepared very informative papers to accompany their oral presentations. The members received these papers earlier this week in anticipation of the weekend's proceedings. The papers will become available on our website throughout the course of the day, and on the basis of my own experience, I think they will be of considerable assistance to the public generally. Tomorrow, of course, we're going to be focused on the ballot paper, its formation, its finalisation and voting on it. So that's really all I have to say. I think we get down to business now, and I would invite Professor Gary Murphy to commence today's presentations.